In this example, we're going to show you how to build drop-down lists uh, that use where the data comes from various different sources. So let's go ahead and create a brand new form definition. And in this, we're going to call, let's say, drop-down list form. So let's go ahead and select a drop-down. And on this first drop-down, we are going to have the data that is static. So in this case, let's go ahead and say system A, system B, system C, and save that. And we'll just put a little label in front of it to show us what kind it is. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a label. And let's call this static list. And let's go ahead and save that, and let's do a preview. So as you can see, we have ABC. We can select a value, and that value will get stored. So let's go ahead and put a few more things. We can actually copy this. We can just select all of it and say duplicate, and then we can go and try the second one. So in this case, the second one is going to be our database. In this case, I already have a connection that I have that is defined within Flowrite. I'm going to use that connection. Now let's say we want to display the list of users and their usernames and IDs within the drop down. So I'm going to get this data from the Flowrite user table. So I'm going to say select DE external user full name, comma DE user ID from DE users, and we'll sort it also. We'll say order by the external user name and say save. And let's change this to say from database. So let's go ahead and save our form and do a preview. So here you can see the list of users coming from our Flowrite database. And this could be coming from any kind of query that you have. This could be talking to another database in a different system, different application, and this user list could be coming, or it could be any other value that you want to display. The next type we're going to do is we're going to do from a lookup list or user roles. So let's go ahead and duplicate this. And let's go inside this, and we have the roles. In this case, I'm going to say I want the users from editors and reviewers role, and let's go ahead and save that. And let's say from user roles. And we can save that and do a preview. And you can see we have two users that came from the selected roles. The last one is the lookup table, where the values will come from lookup. So let's go ahead and again duplicate these. And I'm going to change this to from lookup. And let's go in here and say lookup and select the lookup. In this case, I don't have a lookup defined yet, so I'm going to go ahead and create a lookup list. So I'm going to go into my administration. Actually, let's go under create and lookup data. So my lookup data is actually empty. So let me go ahead and create a new lookup data category. So let's call it states. And we'll enter the first item here. So we can enter MA for Massachusetts. And we can create a couple more entries here. You can say CT for Connecticut. And just enter Florida, FL. And now that we have created this particular lookup data list, we're going to go back to the forms designer and let's save this and go back to this. And you can see I have the states lookup data now, and I can go ahead and save that selection. Let's go ahead and save the form, and let's do a preview. So if you look at the last drop-down list, we have Connecticut, Florida, and Massachusetts. These values coming from a lookup list. So this is a good way to have data coming for your lookup list without actually hard coding the values. There are many ways to do that. As you can see, the first one has static list of values. The second one, the data comes from the database, and these users come from the user roles. And the last one, where the data comes from the lookup data. Drop-down list are used all the time in forms so that the user can easily make selections, and these configurations will help you build complex forms with various data. Thank you.